Everyone wears panties inside their heart. Jacob's philosophy of 2014. This episode, honestly, Nourin, it's a good series. I actually enjoyed this. There was comedy parts. I did laugh quite a bit, and really the entire pantsuit part was probably the major central point of this episode, and we get to see a form of a love triangle in this episode. We get Minori and we got Ringo just kind of going at this little spat fight with, I guess, cliche love triangle-ness when you have the childhood friend and you got the girl that was just introduced less than 2 days ago, and you have these two fighting over the main male character. Honestly, I do love this series for what it stands for. It's nothing original at all in this series. I saw a lot of parodies and references to Bleach, JoJo, let's see here, Death Note was a major one. I saw, like, the art style change a couple times in this actual series. Actually, speaking of art style changing, there was moments to where they used actual manga freaking animation effects like you would see in a manga in this episode. I was like, holy crap, that animation. I will say, this series, if it lacked a story and maybe not have a really good plot, it definitely made up for it with that crazy freaking animation they did with manga art style. And that is something I don't really see a lot in another anime, so I like that. That was a really nice, good hitting moment to this series, and it's definitely unique. I have seen it a couple times, a little bit of that type of art style aspect inside of other anime, but it's still awesome and fresh to see something like this again in this anime. Now, as I can see from this actual second episode, this anime is going to be nothing but a comedy gag anime, and it's pretty much, you shouldn't really focus on a major plot. But for something about this series and the animation style, it's kind of reminded me of Sakura So. If you guys remember that series that aired about a year ago, you should remember what I'm talking about. And this series has a little bit of stuff like this since they're all going to be living in the same dorm. They're making food and having parties together. And you have all these weird set of characters just coming together. This series, right now, do I want to keep watching the series? Yeah, I want to keep watching it because I can never have enough comedy gag anime in my life. And everybody needs a good laugh each week. Now, I did laugh a couple of moments. Definitely just the fan service, a little bit of the fan service this episode. It wasn't necessarily major fan service, but the entire aspect of half the episode being focused on Pansy felt like it was, some at points, a little bit too long, but at the same time, it was just right. I mean, having the Osama game where you got our main character just saying, okay, I want number one to step on my face, and he's like, well, why is it you? That scene, I don't know if it was just me, but it felt like the animation went higher quality in that section when you had just a freaking Minori just stepping on our main character's face with her foot. I was like, what the hell? So we found out in this episode, the major points we found out in this episode is our main male character is a total freaking M. We found out that Ringo is like a kudere and just, you know, will not express her feelings well, and she pretty much is just a crazy different personality I didn't expect from her. I thought she was going to be a happy-go-lucky girl in this series, but completely shocked me there. Now, is her character interesting? Honestly, Ringo's character doesn't feel to be very initiative, like anything special to an anime, and it feels like she's very predictable at times, the way she acts, and the way she had no emotions. I don't know, something about her having no emotions, I know it's supposed to probably mean to have some comedy value, but it really, in that a part of half of this episode, it didn't really give me a smile or a laugh, but it was interesting. It made me keep watching the episode, but like I said, this episode mainly focused when you got to the halfway point and finding out philosophy on panties. I've never been freaking enlightened this much about pantsu in an anime since, I guess, Heaven's Lost Property, and that is pretty freaking shocking. I'm interested in continuing to watch this series. Tell me what you think about this episode and what you think about, I guess, the fan service of pantsu, the love triangle, Ringo's attitude and personality, freaking just the awesome lines and sayings, the Death Note reference, Bleach reference, JoJo reference. Let me know in the comments below. Y'all wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.